never gonna slow me down, cause I feel alive now.
Replicate. There's nothing in the world that you can do that replicates the forces, the G-forces of trying to wrestle.
Until we go racing. 3 minutes until the warm-up lap. BMW.
It does. Front row was a bonus for Alex Rins. He said yesterday, slight concern about tyre drop. It was quite early on the limber up, that recovering right arm. It's been a problem. He was warned
To go racing a 25-lap race of the Algarve International Circuit on the way next.
Circuit in Portugal. Pole position yesterday for flying Frenchman Fabio Quartararo. Can he make it back-to-back on the grid for him in MotoGP ahead of the world champion Joan Mir in 9th? Keep an eye on Pecco Bagnaia over to that hard rear touch. It's going to be all about the start, isn't it, for Zarco and Miller? Zarco 3rd, Miller 4th.
Lights out in Portugal, a very good start actually from Fabio Quartararo and that Miller, and goes through into 3rd again.
Yeah, and that also cost Miller a place on Mir as well. He had to run out.
Corners into the race.
Maverick Vinales had an absolute nightmare. Vinales started 12th, he was 9th, only got Savadori behind him.
Zarco does lead across the line then, as we suspected, at the end of lap 1. Fabio Quartararo from pole already has with Mir and front wheel on rear wheel. Sometimes that can go horribly wrong.
Yeah, Marcus, in that 4th row, he's lost 4 seconds on that opening lap already.
Board with Rins.
Morbidelli, that's ruthless at the first corner. Can Morbidelli pinch that place back into turn 2? You bet he can.
Yeah, there are a couple of proper... Yeah, I agree, Matt, completely. They will not get a better chance of getting 2 men on the podium.
They're not having to use that extra grip.
Lap of the race, Aleix Espargaro as Quartararo moves up to 3rd. Good move from Quartararo on Joan Mir, that. It's behind Brad Binder, who's made up another place then. Mir thought about a move back on Quartararo, but for now...
The Rins could do. Miller getting a bit erratic, and he lets Aleix Espargaro through after a mistake down the hill in the braking zone for turn 1. No way, after just 5 laps, he's going to pull in with any physical problems.
Here comes Zarco, through on both of them, but Quartararo's having none of it. He stays in 2nd place.
Yeah, Suzuki and
Espargaro here. Wow, that's so peculiar. What happened there?
Such an
It is, Oliveira's gone down now. Wow. The race winner from here in November.
A Drickens away from the race leading pace.
There's Marc Marquez at the moment. He's struggling 3, so what on earth happened there?
Now Vinales has got down to a 41.
Urged on is Alex Rins by his team. Fastest lap of the race to Zarco, who goes through naturally on the straight past Mir. Binder is unbelievable, isn't he? He really is something. These are the leading 4 about to be joined.
Just dropping down the hill into the braking zone for the first corner.
Here he goes.
For it yet? He's got the move done. He's got the inside line. Rins can't.
But he didn't panic. He knows he's got the speed underneath him. Quartararo. He was
get your head down and try and clear off. Abject frustration yourself.
Yeah, I only saw that crash of Jack's once on the replay, but it almost looked like it...
Need that agility, that manoeuvrability and a bit of turning, but here the Yamahas with that extra edge grip and their corner speed. Quartararo, the man in 7th and 8th, and Nairo and Aleix Espargaro, they've just exchanged 40.2s. They're not completely out of this yet.
It's an offer for him shortly, but it's way too late.
Still don't think he's done a lap in the 140, Steve. It's another 141 in terms of corner speed. Quartararo then again dips down into those high 139s. 139.884 on lap. Big crash Miguel Oliveira at turn 9. That curtailed Magnaia's pole celebrations.
Interesting for Aleix Espargaro. Some bother here from Alex Rins. He won't go away, but we're now entering the 4th sector, and this part of the...
Had good pace all weekend in terms of race trim. He's now the fastest man on the circuit, 39.728. How much he got through on the KTM man and the Aprilia man. He's been able to check out from those two really quickly. Great. Magic wand set up on Sunday yet again, haven't they?
Around turn 15 we go. There will be 12 laps to go. We've reached... He threatened this in 2019 in his rookie season, did Fabio Quartararo. He was just missing that.
Right.
To say and give a shout out to Taka Nakagami as well, the battered and bruised Japanese.
Can he get the rear tyre hooks up enough to attack Mir on the start-finish straight? You bet he can. There's your answer. There's a fairly emphatic
finish straight, so the World Championship leader moves up onto the podium again.
That's so demanding.
How important it was, those starts for the Suzukis, to get themselves in prime positions. Has crashed. What a shame for him, because He just hit some decent pace.
He'd just taken his brother. Turn number 11 is going to catch out the doctor. Tips it in.
Incredibly early, didn't it? Yeah. That the number 63 goes through.
When you look at Rossi's recent record, Steve, now that's just 12 points.
And through he goes. Bagnaia up into 5th place now.
Luxury position, isn't it, on one of those Ducatis, because you don't have to take 118 long days since Marc Marquez actually saw a checkered flag in the MotoGP World Championship.
4.72 from Quartararo and a 39.471 from Alex Rins. Almost identical.
Yeah, thousandths of a second between the pair of them.
Alex Rins perhaps
due up on all weekend. The Yamaha M1 just gets that rear tyre hooked up and he can carry lots of corner speed, which is the key asset, and that motorcycle. And there's nothing else you can do. Sometimes on the day you're just beaten by the marginally better Fabio Quartararo, because he was putting Rins in this kind of position. Rins in great point scoring opportunities, and he makes blunders at the worst possible way through, even to show Quartararo his front wheel. Despair for Rins.
He's 4.2 seconds clear, and at the moment we're on for another French one too, or are we? Because Bagnaia is flying. He moved
to keep Bagnaia at bay, and he can't do it. Bagnaia nicks the inside line at turn 5. Perfectly execute, classy ride this by Bagnaia.
Oh, no!
Zarco's gone down.
Zarco, the World Championship leader, is now down and out of the race.
Rins block
end in Portugal. Let's see this one then.
Pretty forgettable weekend then for Pramac Ducati. No Jorge Martin.
These crashes up ahead of him. Marc Marquez is now in 7th behind him. Alex Marquez is 8th. Nakagami.
Quartararo and Rins before Rins just bailed out on the factory Suzuki, because Bagnaia has put daylight now between us here this weekend. He's digging himself out of some monumental holes, isn't he, Binder? 5th place rescued hit. Well, as we mentioned, it's been a very punishing weekend for Pramac here in Portugal with Jorge.
Morbidelli can definitely smell a podium. Again, he's faster than Joan Mir up ahead of him. The Petronas Yamaha away from the world champion, Joan Mir.
South American roots, of course, for Franco Morbidelli, Steve, through that final sector. It's going to be difficult to overtake.
Across the line, yeah, Morbidelli's the faster man. Brad Binder is also in the 139s on the KTM.
Stroke era, of course.
And what a ride. What can you say about the man out front at the moment as well, Fabio Quartararo, the last lap of the race.
Yeah, Binder is just going to run out of time here, isn't he? Probably needed 2 or 3 more laps to get himself right. That 2-year-old Yamaha.
And Yaya has got the power underneath it. He's going to come under intense. Fantastic. He did not panic in the early stages when it went wrong. He got into his rhythm. He forced Alex Rins into a crash of the year.
The only place that he could really do it, Steve, was here into turn 13, but he's not going to be close enough. And now,
outstanding from the Yamaha man. Bagnaia from 11th to 2nd. Mir picks up his first podium
in Dreamland. That was pure class, pure quality from Quartararo. Pushed Alex Rins, ride that by Pecco Bagnaia.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant.